Good shifting is just as important to being fast as pressing the throttle, but it's often overlooked. This is what a bad downshift, a decent downshift, and a great downshift look like. Can you spot the difference? When I was a rookie, I was taught that I needed to downshift and use engine braking when I wanted to corner. Now this may be true for driving on the streets, but on the track this was actually making me slow. The engine is meant to increase your speed, not decrease it. That's what brakes are for. Good drivers downshift during the approach to a corner simply for optimum acceleration out of it. All the engine braking achieves is upsetting the balance of the car. Not only was I using engine braking to slow the car, but my upshifting was all wrong. I was shifting whenever the car got to redline, thinking, yeah, the car is loud so I must be going fast, right? Wrong. To get the perfect upshift and go as fast as possible, you need to time it perfectly. Otherwise you're not going to be using your car to its full potential. So let me show you how to perfect the art of shifting. But first I want to tell you a story. Last night I was playing some BeamNG, cruising in my Pigeon. I did an absolutely terrible downshift and rolled it. Then for whatever reason, I suddenly got the urge to watch Top Gear. I searched it up on Netflix, but it wasn't available in the UK. So I booted up Surfshark and set my location to New York, USA. Then, as if by magic, I refreshed the page and Top Gear appeared. Surfshark is an app and browser extension that allows you to place your devices anywhere in the world. It really is magic, but that isn't all it does. If you're on one of those dodgy websites trying to find new mods and are dubious about clicking download, just load up Surfshark and download safely. I know what you're thinking, all of this magic must come at a hefty price, right? Not in the slightest. In fact, there's a special offer for you sim racing blokes. If you click the link in the description and use code SIMRACING, you'll unlock a massive 83% discount. But that's not all, you'll also get an entire 3 months free. This is literally the best price on the market, so don't miss out and grab yourself a little bit of magic today. So how can you perfect the art of shifting? Let's start with upshifting. When shifting up for maximum acceleration, you need to know the engine's characteristics. In this 8.6, the torque peaks just above 5,000 RPM, whilst power peaks at 6,500. And whenever we shift up, there's a split of 1,800 between gears. Therefore, if we shift up at 6,500, the res will drop back down to 4,800, and we'll be accelerating through peak torque to peak power. This range between both peaks is where the engine will operate most effectively, resulting in maximum acceleration. However, you shouldn't be aiming to stay in this range all of the time. Sometimes it can be faster to short shift. For instance, if there's a corner that's taken in second gear leading onto a straight, you can shift into third before the corner so you don't waste time on the straightaway. But it can also be faster to leave the car in gear. If you're approaching the end of a straight and you're almost out of that optimum range from earlier, it's usually faster to leave the car in gear and rev it out than changing gears. Now let's move on to downshifting. It's a little more in depth, but even more critical to going fast. One of the most common errors I see is drivers trying to downshift whilst turning into a corner. As a driver lets out the clutch, the driving wheels lock up momentarily and the car starts to spin. So how do you do a good smooth downshift? The smoothest of smooth downshifts occur when the engine revs are increased by briefly stabbing the gas with your right foot. This is called blipping the throttle or rev matching. This matches the engine and wheel speed. However, the tricky part is doing this whilst braking, unless you have a third leg. This requires a technique called heel and toe downshifting. To do this, you need to begin braking with the ball of your right foot on the brake pedal, whilst keeping a small portion on the gas. Whilst braking, depress the clutch with your left foot and downshift. Still braking and with the clutch still depressed, roll your right foot at the ankle, quickly pushing or blipping the throttle. Then quickly but smoothly ease out the clutch, bleed off the brake and enter the corner. There isn't a successful race driver in the world who doesn't heel and toe on every downshift. Matching the engine and wheel speed is critical to a smooth downshift. And that is how shifting properly can make you faster. If you learned something new today, you might like this video in which I teach you how to drive slow cars fast.